Morocco is just beautiful. The people are wonderful. The scenery is gorgeous. There's so much to do, and there's so much to see.
This trip to Morocco has been absolutely wonderful. It was a small group. We were very compatible.
When they say the word discovery, that's exactly what this trip has been like. Every day we discover some new and fascinating place to visit.
The sumptuous colors, the fabrics, the people have been kinder than I could have ever imagined.
Our tour director on this trip has been outstanding. You couple that with our fellow travelers and then this wonderful venue of Morocco. It's made for not only a great vacation, but a great life experience.
This Discovery Small Groups tour of Morocco begins with a stay in the capital city of Rabat, before turning inland to explore the world-famous Medina of Fez. Next, we make our way toward the Sahara Desert, where we will ride camels through the vast landscape and stay in a comfortable camp under a blanket of stars. Our journey continues through the picturesque Atlas Mountains to stay in the exotic city of Marrakesh, before making our way to the relaxing seaside town of Essaouira. This small group tour of Morocco allows you to fully immerse yourself in Morocco's culture, historic sites, and beautiful landscapes.
Welcome to Morocco.
Morocco is a country that we found has a lot of pleasant surprises, especially with the topography.
We went from an area of lush greenness to the Atlas Mountains, which are quite high, snow-covered, very rugged.
The mountains, the gorges, I mean, it's beautiful. The country's absolutely gorgeous. I had no idea it was this way.
We just saw goats on trees.
Who knew there were goats in trees?
It's been a wonderful adventure because we get to meet the people.
They're just so friendly and helpful and courteous. It's a wonderful experience. Everyone should come here.
A highlight for me was Fez. In Fez, you go into the Medina and it just draws you in. It's just such a colorful place. The fabrics, all the jewel tones, you can't help but take photos.
Fez is the largest preserved, medieval, and early modern city in the history of mankind, still functioning today. We visit the grinders' quarter, the coppersmith quarter, the carpenters, and then we visited the tannery too.
That tannery was just, it amazed me very much. They're just working and trying to get that color saturated into the hide, and it was interesting to see that.
We stayed in Fez at this lovely riad. The rooms were just like you would expect an old Moroccan room to be, and a lovely personal experience. People were there to greet us and take care of us.
Now you are Moroccan.
And then we go to the Sahara Desert.
I would say the Sahara Desert was surreal. I mean, you know, a kid who grew up in Mississippi, I never would have thought I'd have ridden a camel in Morocco.
That was the ultimate highlight of them all. And recommend to anyone who wants an incredible experience.
And we went out at sunset, and so as we were riding out, the shadows were really long. It's really hard to describe. If I had to use one word, I'd just say magical.
And get off the camels and then go up and watch the sunset. That was probably one of the real highlights of this trip.
We got back on our camels, and as we approached our camp, there were musicians outside playing music to greet us, and there was a lovely campfire in the middle, and the musicians were playing. We got up, we danced. It was fun, a lot of fun.
It gives you a step back in time to maybe how the Berber princes lived in their sumptuous tents at night.
We walked out and go up on the dune and you could see the stars, and I mean, it's like what you see in the movie, just stars everywhere. I mean, it's beautiful, beautiful just being out in the open.
Marrakesh is just absolutely beautiful. Loved Marrakesh.
Marrakesh is a very interesting city. The center square is really a huge circus.
It is an assault on the senses with snake charmers and medieval dentists and food stalls, and it's got something for everyone, and it's just fascinating. You just want to stop and take it all in.
Foot bath.
The optional tour to the Orca Valley is one of probably the highlights for me of the tour. The botanical garden was very interesting, all the different herbs. A fantastic lunch. We had turkey on skewers that was seasoned perfectly. They were just excellent.
And we went into a Berber home. I think that was probably the highlight for me.
It was a good example of how people carry on their daily life. The animals were in the lower part of the building. The people lived in the upper part. It was very interesting.
And next we visit the city of Essaouira, a very relaxing, comfortable town, famous for its traditional fishing port. And the city of Essaouira is a lot of history and a lot of culture. We have this comfortable stay for 2 nights in one of the most relaxing towns in Morocco, Essaouira, or the ex-Mogador.
The small groups with Discovery Tours is really great. You get to know people, you're more of a family.
Going with a small group allows you to be nimble. It's an easy size to manage. You can turn on a dime if someone wants to stop and do something fascinating or take a picture.
We could be always close to the guide, hear what he had to say.
Our tour guide couldn't have been more accommodating and explained everything so well.
I think that's a real advantage of doing tours versus trying to see places on your own, because you're given so much more information than you would ever get on your own. And that's been especially true of this trip.
This may be our very best tour for the way they executed the tour, the hotels, the timing, everything. So they get an A+ for that.
I would recommend Discovery Tours to Morocco without a doubt.
I would definitely recommend Discovery Tours because I love the idea of traveling in a small group and being so well taken care of at the same time that a lot of the worries that you do when you travel by yourself were completely taken care of.
Morocco's been on our bucket list for a long time. My only regret is that we didn't do it earlier. So for those out there that have Morocco on your bucket list, do it now. For those of you that don't have it on your bucket list, think about it. It is a wonderful travel experience.